Greetings! On behalf of Sigma Theta Tau International Honor Society of Nursing, or simply Sigma, welcome to the 2021 International Nursing Research Congress. Our Congress theme this year is Transforming Global Nursing Research and Scholarship through Co-Creation, Awareness, Balance, and Purpose. As we look forward to a great virtual conference, please join me in acknowledging the many Sigma International Board of Director members in attendance. We thank these dedicated individuals for their service in what has been a unique biennium. If you haven't already done so, connect with other attendees, make a personal schedule, and access other important information on the event app. Download the app by searching for Sigma Events in the App Store. If you're one of the hashtag nurses who tweet, join the social media conversation using the hashtag INRC21. Now, please join me in recognizing the generous sponsors supporting this virtual event. You can visit the sponsor resources page for a full list of event sponsors and exclusive resources. Griffith University School of Nursing and Midwifery is the sponsor of this opening plenary session. Here is Professor Ann Bonner with a special greeting from Griffith University.
Greetings from the School of Nursing and Midwifery at Griffith University. I am Professor Ann Bonner, the head of school, and I bring you warm greetings from our Australian colleagues. Our school is located across campuses in Brisbane, the Gold Coast and Singapore. At our school, our vision is to positively influence and lead innovative, clinically and socially relevant research and teaching that has sustainable real-world impact. Sigma has a strong presence in Australia, and at the School of Nursing and Midwifery, we are delighted to collaborate with Sigma to advance healthcare. Our school's research is built on strong links with health partners and focuses on acute and critical care, ageing and dementia, chronic health conditions and end-of-life care, infection prevention and control, as well as maternity care. In 2020, our school was ranked second in the world and first in Australia for nursing and midwifery research. At this Congress, we're delighted that Dr. Jamie Rance has been recognised as an emerging nurse researcher for the Oceania region, and I'm honoured to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. While 2020 was considered to be an unprecedented year, this year continues to be extremely challenging for us all, both professionally and personally, as the global COVID-19 pandemic continues. Nurses remain at the forefront of the fight against COVID-19 in our hospitals and communities, and with the rollout of mass vaccinations across countries. The profile of nurses has also increased, and we are seeing a huge upswing in people coming to study nursing. Sigma, as a major international organisation, provides leadership for us all, and by being able to join together virtually, I hope you all enjoy and embrace this year's Congress and feel connected to other nurses globally.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner and Griffith University. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker. Dr. Michael Joseph Dino is the Research Development and Innovation Center Director at Our Lady of Fatima University and is an academic consultant for nursing informatics in the Philippines. You can read Dr. Dino's full biography in the speaker's document in the resources area. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Michael Joseph Dino as he speaks about infusing the joy into nursing scholarship. Enjoy the presentation.
A pleasant day to everyone, and I hope everybody's safe and healthy wherever you are. In the next few minutes, I'll be sharing my thoughts, inspirations, and principles on how to infuse joy into nursing scholarship as inspired by President Duchardi's call to action. A warm welcome to our Sigma nurses from the different parts of the Sigma regions. Thank you for your proactive support to our organization, and I'm happy to meet you even virtually in this new normal. There are lots of reasons to celebrate today. There are hundreds of reasons to become joyful. Truly, our strength rests in our unity amidst diversity and amidst the challenges we are facing in the current times. On your screen is a young gentleman from the Asia region, specifically in Manila, Philippines. Being the president of the Phi Gamma chapter, Sigma's only virtual chapter, I have this rare opportunity to be immersed in a lot of cultures through our members from the different parts of the globe and learn from their practices. Let me share with you some of these concepts from the Asia region. First is the concept of making the most out of anything. Journeying with you today is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, or as our Japanese colleagues call it, an Ichigo Ichiye experience. The concept of Ichigo Ichiye experience teaches everyone to live each day as if it's the last. And for researchers, making the most out of each research project and savoring the research experience. Being joyful is linked with being thankful for every opportunity, the Ichigo Ichiye. It is also living the life with purpose, or the Ikigai, and celebrating life, or in our local language here in the Philippines, the Mabuhay. For me, happiness is a product of these three concepts, and being joyful has a lot of benefits, even for us researchers. Studies about joy are extant in the last 10 years. There are a number of scholars who deep dive on joy literature and explore answers to the questions: who is the most joyful person? Where can we find the most joyful researchers? Bertner, in his evidence-based book, postulated that joy is linked to resilience and survivorship. Joyful persons are resilient to challenges, and joyful persons are survivors. Joyful persons have the longest lives, and they reside in places we call the blue zones. There are three things that are common to joyful persons. Number one, they have positive experiences, living with their values and passion, and they feel accomplished. The three P's of joy: the pleasure, purpose, and pride. And in my own point of view, happiness in the mind, heart, and hands. Happiness can be found in all places because most of the time it lies within the person or the researcher himself or herself. For clarity and brevity, this keynote shall explore the blue zones in research and share the approaches on how we can infuse the joy as we engage in nursing scholarship and research. Specifically, it will introduce on ways on how we can establish a positive mindset, foster skills, and build our passion for research: the mind, the hand, and the heart. Let us first look at the realities of life, nursing, and scholarship. Every nurse researcher must acknowledge that everything is in the process of becoming something else, and that is the law of change. The law of change states that everything is changing, and according to John Kehoe, change happens everywhere with everyone, and it happens constantly. For me, change is defined by the four C's. In change, there are numerous transformations. In change, it's accompanied by challenges. But beyond things that we cannot control, we have the chance or free will to make a choice and shape the direction that we would like to go. Putting all of these concepts together, in the process of change, there are challenges, but we have the chance to have a choice. We have experienced the biggest changes in the last few years as the world ventured into uncharted waters of the COVID-19 pandemic. This introduces a big challenge to our profession and an opportunity to recalibrate our commitment to nursing. 2020, 2021 must have been joyful years as we celebrate the year of the nurse and the midwives, but we end up surviving and showing our resilience, the attributes of a joyful person. We experience change, we accept the challenge, and we had the chance and choose to serve. As nurses, we embrace the meaning of TLC, and we all know that. Originally, TLC refers to tender loving care. We nurses are known for, but for me, its meaning is expanding. TLC during this time also relates to time, love, and commitment to our nurses at the forefront. TLC would also refer to teaching, learning, and communication among nurse educators in schools of nursing who continue to shape future nurses, even virtually using technological platforms. And finally, for our nurse researchers, it would also mean truth, laurels, and collaboration. It is the perfect time for us nurse researchers to reinvigorate our commitment to search for truth or develop new knowledge, engage in scholarship work, and collaborate with peers to produce the best evidence possible. It is also the best time to hone our global nurses. A nurse who is a healthcare partner, engaged professional, lifelong learner, servant leader, and of course, an active researcher. Truly, crisis is a stimulus for us to innovate, and in my own language, innovation. Innovations in moving forward and upward. There's a need to recalibrate the areas on purpose, our people, our process, and products or research outputs. Currently, Kim conducted an initial bibliometrics of COVID-19 studies published in nursing journals. The numbers are promising because it communicates that nurse researchers are giving their share of knowledge during these challenging times. Now, more than ever, we are craving for quality research. By quality research, I mean studies that are comparable and responsive to both local and international standards, research that are reliable for it matches with our specialties in nursing, studies that are acceptable in terms of the method, manuscript, and format, outputs that are valid for it was pre-checked and verified by our critical friends or experts, and manuscripts that are explicitly written, clearly, and concisely worthy of publication. There is also an increasing need for these research products to be shared through presentation to conferences just like this one, publication in peer-refereed journals, and for some studies to be converted to patents and eventually be pitched for use in the community. Policy implications are also necessary. For some nurses, although they value the importance of research in our profession and consider research as a challenging and time-consuming behavior, there are ways for us to keep engaged in nursing scholarship and infuse joy. First is to develop a positive research mindset. One lesson that I have learned from my experience is that we don't see things as they are, but we see things as we are. People and researchers have the tendency to see things from their own perspectives, and it changes the way we approach our research products. Our outputs will also tell us who we are as a researcher, our field of expertise, our way of thinking, our mindsets. We have seen how philosophies change through the years and how it impacts our practice of nursing. From the classical times where Aristotle described man as a rational being capable of producing another truth, to the intersection of health and spirituality. The age of reasoning has introduced both inductive and deductive reasoning, where we quantify and qualify knowledge. The rise of capitalism during the 1800s has introduced the issue of morality and ethics up to the time we consider post-humanism as an emerging philosophy. Surely, this pandemic will introduce a lot of philosophies, as per perspectives from various scholars. Developing a positive mindset shall require strategic reframing among nursing researcher leaders, and strategic reframing is a new approach for disruptive changes and connected challenges in the modern world. For Mukherjee and colleagues, it requires the challenging the current scenario, thinking of future possibilities, and thinking fresh or outside the box. These are also attributes of a resilience and survivorship, and if I may connect, the traits of a joyful person. I conducted a mixed method study 10 years ago about developing a positive mindset in research and came up with a model called the pendulum of momentum enablers. I have found out that the most successful thesis writers have positive mindsets and sense making strategies for multiple personas. They have the attributes of a child, an adult, and a wise person. Successful researchers have the mindset of a child, full of excitement in his or her own research work and open to all possibilities. Successful researchers have the mindset of an adult, as defined by certainty of purpose and appreciation. Successful researchers have the mindset of a wise person with sense of altruism and are willing to take the risk. Creating a positive mindset is just a starting point. Nurse researchers are encouraged to continuously hone their skills while infusing joy in their work. It's a must for researchers to see themselves as a work in progress. Just like the common thinking, be better today than you are yesterday, and be better tomorrow than you are today. The biggest room in this world is the room for improvement. The dynamic nature of research and scholarship calls for lifelong and life-wide commitment to learning. Lifelong learning tells us to continue honing our nursing skills, while life-wide learning enables us to learn things from various disciplines and do multidisciplinary scholarly work. Let us also consider the power of experience through serendipitous learning, or learning that occurs informally and unexpectedly from personal and professional experiences. I'm lucky to have experienced serendipitous life-wide learning in the fields outside of nursing, and as an exemplar, as a member of the Apple Distinguished Educators Group, and as a former member of its advisory boards for 2 terms. Additionally, having been trained in patents and intellectual property field made me realize the value of entrepreneurship in nursing research, and we need more nurses who can integrate non-nursing fields to nursing. Also, nurses who, through their studies, can aid in the development of policies, products, and new knowledge that can be translated to practice and community utilization. And I'm confident that nurses can produce products worthy of use in our areas of practice. Developing the skills in nursing the joyful way can call for a new and dynamic approach in the field of research discipleship. We are all once a tabula rasa in nursing research, and mentees are shaped by dynamic leaders. Novice researchers needs an advisor who will tell them what to do. At the same time, an advisor who will also coach, who will tell them how to do it, and a mentor who will make them feel joyful whenever they achieve or accomplish something. Nurse researchers need proactive advisors, coach mentors who are researchers themselves. And they are leaders who will walk the talk, to think, to act, to listen, and keep an open mind. Developing research skills should be a positive experience to researchers. Mentors lighting the torch of knowledge, skills, and attitude, and passing it on to mentees. The last and final element of infusing joy into nursing research is developing a joyful heart and passion in doing research. Sticking to the things you love is part of discovering your research niche. They should be treated in balance with sustainable outcomes that are also aligned and realistic. A lot of colleagues are asking me, what is the formula for loving research? What is the formula for research success? In my opinion, asking yourself important questions about your research plans can be a great help. Before venturing into a research topic, a nurse might ask, is this topic timely? and relevant, and will address the current gaps in nursing practice. Is it trending? Are other researchers recognizing this as a current issue? And is it trailblazing or innovative? Will it bring you joy? Producing scholarly work entails a lot of curiosity, and curiosity emerges from asking simple yet valuable questions. Currently, in my practice, those questions that spark my curiosity include how nursing is being practiced and how do we position men in nursing. Another would be how this pandemic will affect the sense of belongingness and labor movement among nurses. And finally and currently, how nurses experience joy in the workplace. Me and my colleagues, Dr. Carol Liss from the Western Governors University and Dr. Naomi Tutichi from the Queensland University of Technology, are now embarking on this very exciting research question about joy. Fortunately, the concept and topic possibilities are really endless in nursing. As we experience this pandemic, we are also gradually entering the fourth industrial age. We have witnessed how industries are shaped by innovation and economic development during the first, second, and third industrial revolutions, where mechanization, electricity, and computers were invested. The first industrial revolution, or the age of mechanical production, beginning around the 1760s through the advent of steam engines. Steam was powering everything from agriculture to textile manufacturing. Man battles with time. The second industrial revolution, the age of science and mass production, things started to speed up with the number of key inventions. Think gasoline engines, airplanes, chemical fertilizers, all inventions that help us go faster and do more. During those times, man battles with speed and productivity. Third industrial revolution is the digital revolution. The third industrial revolution brought semiconductors, mainframe computing, personal computing, and the internet. The digital revolution. During this time, man battles with technological competency. This new era opens a lot of possibility for nursing research. The fourth industrial revolution. Areas where we can find joy and passion in knowledge discovery. During this time, man will battle with computers and AI. The fourth industrial revolution is a complex phenomenon, and this website from Strategic Intelligence will help us understand the different elements of 4IR that we can apply in the nursing context. But in a nutshell, 4IR would mean a future of virtual and augmented reality, robotics, artificial intelligence, self-driving cars, and others. The rise of robots in the healthcare field offers a promising opportunity to complement the delivery of safe and quality care. Currently, that is my passion. Collaborating with like-minded scholars and discovering new possibilities for our older adults bring me joy. And I'm excited to share my initial and future discoveries to the nursing world. I'm excited not because it is something new, but because it will generate new possibilities and new evidence to prove the potential of nurses in navigating uncharted waters. As Steve Jobs highlighted, technology is nothing. What's it important is that you have faith in people, that they're basically good and smart. And if you'll give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them. Finding your reason for being as a nurse and researcher can be best understood through the Ikigai framework, adopting the Garcia and Morales concept of Ikigai in the concept of nursing research, or the joy and reason for being a researcher. Finding joy into the context of nursing scholarship must involve a conscientious reflection of yourself as a researcher, or your Ikigai. Asking yourself the topics that you love exploring. Ask yourself the research areas where you excel. And ask yourself the research that you perceive the world needs right now, and the research field where you earn for a living. The combination of the topics you love exploring and where you excel is your research passion. The merger of the topics you love exploring and the world needs is your research mission. The intersection of the area where you excel and the field where you earn a living is your research profession. And the consolidation of the research that the world needs and your field where you earn a living is your research vocation. Summarily, infusing joy into nursing research and scholarship is a never ending journey. It is a continuous adventure of lifelong and life-wide learning. So honing your skills and finding your ikigai. The blue zone of research happiness may not be a place, but a state of thinking, an expression, a process, or maybe an interaction with your mentor or mentees, or a deep sense of passion within and among scholars themselves. With that, I'm excited to see your product of joy in this year's International Nursing Research Conference and ask you the questions. Does your research bring you joy? At mind, at heart, and at hand. The caput, the core, and the manus. Let me end by sharing to you my favorite quote about joy. And this was from John Cates. He said that a thing of beauty is a joy forever. And I want to extend the quote by saying, research is beautiful. It is an expression of caring in nursing. And let's infuse and spread joy in doing research. With that, thank you very much.